There are the powers that be that take over. David Wilcock speaks about this, and how we're tricked on a multi-level overthrow. In our minds, in our faces, we've been given these boxes to stare at, and it's only until recently we haven't been paying attention to what's going on. But speaking about the powers and believing and becoming what you think about on a day-by-day basis, this has been used against you for thousands of years. David Wilcock talks about how the cabal has no chance left because we're starting to figure out these things, but this is what's been happening. Take a listen to this.
What really is going on here is that we have massive, massive creative power. Our thoughts actually do manifest reality. So the rules are that they use two components, imagination and will. They seed our imagination with a particularly desired thought form, and then they create events that fire our will into that thought form to actualize it. Now, let me give you an example because this might not make any sense. Okay, they seed the imagination, let's say, with the idea that guns kill people, guns are bad. Therefore, we take away all the guns and nobody's ever going to die again. Everything's going to be great. Then, in order to actualize our will, they've seeded that thought form, gun control, gun control, gun control. But they are not going to lose their guns. And how do we know that we can trust them, especially after the Snowden disclosures, where we have the open admission that there is an international cabal that is actually spying on all of our electronic communications? We can't trust them to be able to use that responsibly. They're not getting a warrant, they're not getting a court order, they are doing bulk collection, which means they grab everybody's data, everything that we put out there electronically, they have all of it. If at any point in the future you are suspected of a probable crime, they can go back through extrajudicially and access everything you've ever said and done. And even if you just so happen to accidentally click on a link on a web page that you know, I've done it. Sometimes your finger hits the button, you didn't intend it. You loaded that web page, and it's this, let's say it's a hate site of some kind. Now they can say, well, look, you know, David Wilcock went and accessed this hate site. Clearly, we can now establish that he was into this stuff. So let's go back to the example of gun control now. The first stage with imagination is that they tell you guns kill people, therefore take away the guns. Then they create a fake event, a mass shooting, which is staged. They already have the emergency crews on hand. They already have the whole thing lined up. The cover-up is already in place. They manage the event. They control the media. They black out people's cell phones. People don't understand why they're not getting a signal. It's an EMP block. This is the kind of stuff they actually do. So nobody can be taking pictures and filming it while it's happening. Then the event happens and everybody's traumatized, and then they release the coded phrase. They say, guns are the problem. Guns are the reason why these people died. Therefore, we need to take away the guns. And then everybody says, oh yes, thank God. Take away all the guns, this will never happen again. Every single fascist overthrow of a country in history started with some form of confiscation of the tools that the people had to protect themselves, whether it was guns or other forms of weaponry. They make it illegal to have defensive tools. And that is why the Founding Fathers of the United States of America, written right into the Constitution, the Second Amendment, is that you have the right to bear arms, because they knew about the cabal in its British form in the 1700s.
And even more importantly, he goes into how the cabal got started.
Higher-ranking cabal members.
Back here.
Because they are terrorists.
Let's just move back a little bit, because this is good. David Wilcock. Sorry, guys, my first one. Hey, they'll get better or they'll get worse. Who the hell knows what's going to happen?